Hey guys, I miss you all. Hope you all are doing well. Today we're going to quickly go over lesson plan. This will be a pretty short recording. Your assignment for this week is just to finish up your lesson plan that you started last week. I checked over everyone who started one. You're doing a pretty good job there. We just need to, I'm going to touch base on a couple things that I saw kind of repeated throughout people who have started their lesson plans. So. First thing, remember that you do need to have a standard, and this is an example lesson plan. This is connected to the assignment as well, so if you're ever not sure at what something looks like, remember you have this example lesson plan from something that I actually have taught with my freshman English class, okay? So with the standard, make sure that you're writing it out exactly as it appears on the website and that you also have that number with it. So like this is for standards 9-10 reading and it's standard 5. And so there will be a number attached with your standard. Please make sure that you include that when you're writing your standard. For objectives, remember that you always start with the student's will, and then you have that verb that goes with the standard that's from Bloom's taxonomy, and then you have what the students are going to be doing. So again, make sure you're using that Bloom taxonomy. That is a connection that is connected to your classroom assignment as well. Materials can just be a list. That's no big deal. The set, not too many people started with their set yet. Remember, this is kind of that it's almost like an intro paragraph. You're trying to get your students interested in what you're going to be teaching. It's kind of like a peek into what the lesson's going to be, or it might be getting some prior knowledge for the student, or it might connect to something that they learned in the past. But it's usually some sort of creative way you're trying to get your students involved in the lesson. So it's that intro, like, hey, here comes the lesson, before the lesson actually starts, okay? The information in the model, this is your script. Remember we talked about that the lesson plan, you should be able to hand your lesson plan to somebody else and it be detailed enough that they can read through it and teach it. So you really need to be detailed in here. When we did our lesson plans at the beginning of the year, this is where most people had issues. You were not detailed. I want step by step. First I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to say this. And then I'm going to point to this. Then I'm going to have the students do this. I mean, step by step by step what you're going to be doing. And it should be in this format, like this, where it's like step 1, like you have 1, and then this is what I'm doing first, like a list of things. Again, it's a script, and you need to make sure that you have the whole script completed so that if somebody else needed to perform this lesson, they would be able to, based off your instructions in the information model piece. Okay, guided practice, remember, so the information model piece is the I do, that's what the teacher's doing. The guided practice or the check for understanding is the we do, and that's usually when you're doing it in partners. What are you going to have the partners do? What are they going to say to each other? What are you going to say to them as they are working? Again, we need the details, okay? And then the independent practice is the you do. That's what the students are doing on their own without really your help, okay? Closure is different than independent practice. And that website, or that Edpuzzle that we did the other day, closure is like the finale. It's a concluding paragraph of an essay. It's the mic drop. So it is we're bringing it all together. It's usually 5 minutes at the end of the class period, and you're just double checking that kids are beyond the independent practice. Independent practice is like it's practice of its own, on its own, but then you have the closure that is kind of a group check. It can be a ticket out the door, it can be a thumbs up, it can be a choral response, but it's that end of the lesson. Did everybody, I hit the things I needed to hit? Are the kids getting it as we're going? Okay, and then assessment can be the independent practice, or it may be something else besides the independent practice. So you might, let's say they're writing an essay, the independent practice might be write 1 claim, evidence, and reasoning, but the assessment may be the whole essay, right? So it may be different. It could also be the same. You might be assessing that specific independent practice for the lesson. And this assessment may not happen in that one class period of the lesson or that 1 or 2 class periods in the lesson. You might have a lot of little assessments leading up to a lot of little lessons leading up to an assessment, and so that may take place a little bit later. Note that if it's going to take place later, note that in your lesson plan. Okay? So your assignment for this week is just to finish up your lesson plan for me, and then I will check it and give you guys feedback on there. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment on Classroom, because if you have those questions, somebody else may have that question as well. So you can just leave a comment on Classroom and I can answer all of it. Okay? Have a good day, guys. Be safe. Miss you.